Something you will frequently hear me say when it comes to evaluating the power level of cards in any card game is that context is key and we can't evaluate cards inside of a vacuum. This is because a card that is very mediocre on its own can often be incredibly powerful when paired with the right synergies during deck building. Today, we're going to be highlighting a number of Marvel Snap cards that kept continually coming up short until they had a key second piece introduced to the game to bring them up to power level thanks to key synergies. I'm also going to take a look forward at soon to be released Marvel Snap cards that could instill some real power level increases into existing Marvel Snap cards that don't currently see a lot of play. The first card on our zero to hero list for today is one that was so bad that I actually listed it on my bottom 5 cards in Marvel Snap when I created a list a couple months back of things that needed a little bit of love. This card today, however, is not only fun but also feels powerful and is one of my favorite cards to play in Marvel Snap, and that is Hazmat. 2 energy, 1 power with the on reveal effect, afflict all other cards with -1 power. Hazmat struggled to really be competitive because it was really hard to break the symmetry that this card brought to the game. You had to count on your opponent having more cards in play than you so that you were reducing their power more than you were reducing your own, and that was difficult to do on a consistent manner. In enter recent Series 4 card Luke Cage here. Ongoing, your cards can't have their power reduced. Luke Cage mitigates Hazmat's effect completely for things on our side of the board, taking it from a difficult to enable card to an incredibly powerful 2 energy investment in the late game. Our next card that recently went from zero to hero is one that it always felt like was close to being competitive but could never quite keep up with the other options at its energy slot, is none other than Rock Slide. 4 energy, 6 power, on reveal, shuffle 2 rocks into your opponent's deck. The math on Rock Slide in an average game of Marvel Snap is that it gives you an approximately 50% chance to brick one of your opponent's remaining 2 draws. That being said, a coin flip of bricking one of their draws wasn't quite enough to justify Rock Slide only having 6 stats compared to the 7, 8, or even 9 that you occasionally get for 4 energy. That being said, recently introduced card Darkhawk adds another layer of complexity to the Rock Slide puzzle. Darkhawk starts with just 1 power at 4 energy, but has the ongoing effect of +2 power for each card in your opponent's deck. That means Rock Slide's trigger not only has a chance to brick one of our opponent's remaining 2 draws, but it also adds 4 power to Darkhawk, bringing it up to an incredibly reasonable 4 energy investment in Marvel Snap. The remaining cards I want to talk about today haven't quite hit hero status yet, but I'm optimistic that upcoming Marvel Snap card releases are going to really amp up their power levels like Darkhawk did for Rockslide and Luke Cage did for Hazmat. The first of these cards that's definitely a zero at the moment that I think could be improving pretty soon is definitely Crystal. So 4 energy, 4 power card on reveal. If this is at the middle location, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 3 cards. So the core problem with Crystal is that she can shuffle your cards back into your deck and then give you the same ones back out, making her kind of a high variance play if you can't get your hand empty. And her stat line is kind of mediocre for a 4 energy play if you're not getting value from her on reveal effect. That being said, the season pass card just around the corner for January is Zabu. 3 energy, 2 power card, ongoing effect. Your 4 cost cards cost 2 less. Zabu in the right deck is going to help you get your hand empty very quickly. And if you get your hand empty when you play Crystal out, she effectively reads draw 3 cards. Zabu will also make Crystal cheaper, so these two really seem like the perfect match. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see Crystal become a staple in Zabu decks, similar to how we've seen Brood pair off with Silver Surfer with the current Battle Pass card for December. Our next current zero that I have some optimism for, thanks to some upcoming card releases, is one that has seen a little bit of play when the featured location is right, but ultimately doesn't quite provide enough disruption, and that is Black Bolt. 5 energy, 8 power card. With the on reveal, your opponent must discard the lowest cost card from their hand. Unfortunately, making your opponent discard their lowest cost card going into the final turn of the game just isn't meaningfully disruptive to a lot of strategies. That being said, Stature is going to be coming to Marvel Snap in an upcoming release here, and I think her ability could really push Black Bolt over the top as an enabler for this potentially powerful card. So 5 energy, 7 power card here, but Stature only costs 1 if your opponent discarded a card from their hand this game. When you combine 1 energy, 7 power from Stature with 5 energy, 8 power from Black Bolt, we end up getting 15 stats for just 6 resources, which is an incredible rate in Marvel Snap on average. Not to mention, Stature is going to give us flexibility to play out a variety of other cards on the final turn of our game as well. Not to mention the small amount of games where Black Bolt's disruption will also be meaningful on top of this. Our final zero looking to return to hero status is one that folks who played in the Marvel Snap closed beta are no stranger to. Unfortunately, Strong Guy took a nerf to the knee before the public release, and he just hasn't quite recovered since. So 4 energy, 4 power card here. That is the ongoing effect. If your hand is empty, this gets +6 power. 10 stats for 4 resources is above rate. It's the best rate you can get for a 4 energy card in Marvel Snap if you can enable it. That being said, the deck building cost of enabling Strong Guy is not nothing. Being forced to play all low curve stuff comes at a disadvantage. Not to mention, if your opponent is playing a common meta card like Maximus, they can completely mess up what Strong Guy has going on. That being said, there's someone coming along that could bring this zero back to hero status, and that is the MODOK here. 5 energy, 8 power card. On reveal, discard your hand. Having a guaranteed way to clean your hand out on the final turn and know that your Strong Guy is going to get those 10 power worth of stats could definitely have the potential to bring Strong Guy back to hero status in Marvel Snap. One of the things I think Marvel Snap does better than almost any other card game out there is incredibly satisfying and interesting deck building thanks to powerful synergies like all the cards I highlighted here today have. What are some of your favorite combos to leverage in deck building in Marvel Snap? Let me know in a comment down below so I can give them a try in a deck for myself. Remember, if you enjoyed any of my insights in today's video, be sure to tap that like button as an easy way to give a little bit of engagement to help this content reach more people. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. I post Marvel Snap tidbits like this, as well as game news updates and other things here 7 days a week, and I'd love to see you back again sometime. I'd also love if you have feedback on this type of content in general. Are these type of theory crafting videos something worth exploring more in the future? Let me know down in the comments. Also, happy New Year's Eve, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I appreciate you choosing to spend part of it here with me.